No, they're not my goats, but they're pretty anyways. Hey folks, yeah, about all those promised video updates. Welcome to 2021. It's been a rather rough year for us so far. We've had a lot going on and not enough going on at the same time. You probably, if you keep up on the Facebook page, have seen the video that Christina posted about the chickens. That's been our big mess so far, trying to deal with all of that and figure out where to go from here. And we still haven't really made much decisions. But the other side of it, this year has been busy on all fronts. Been trying to keep up with things on the farm, and working full-time in the office means I'm not at home quite as much. I got about an hour and a half commute every day that eats into the time that I can do things around here, and that just means less things get done, like weeding the garden. As you can see, it's a little bit overgrown. We got a little bit of everything here and there. Did get a good crop of cucumbers, got decent tomatoes this year as opposed to last year. And what you see over here on this fence is loofahs. Yeah, we have a whole run of loofahs growing up over here. They're doing pretty well. Here's some pretty loofah blossoms. And then here's the new ducks, our Muscovy ducks. Pair of them. This is cocoa and butterscotch. I believe they're both girls, which is amazing. They were our rescue friends from Big Spring. Found them our place for a home. They have migrated over here for the week and will be moving into the pig pen that you see behind to help clean up with Gertie and Peppa, who I believe are probably snoozing right now. I hear them. Piggy, piggy, piggies! Where's my babies? There's a Peppa. Hi, Peppa Pig. Hi, Gertie. They're more than happy to come out, especially if I have treats, which I don't. Hi, babies. Hi. Yeah. They're gonna get mad at me soon. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so garden, we have sunflowers, cucumbers, tomatoes. The rain pretty much killed off all of our tomato hopes this year. They got flooded out back here as we got week after week of rain. But alas, yes, it's been a rough year. We've, as mentioned, we've still got to make the final decision on the chickens and what we're going to do there, which stinks because we know everybody loves the eggs, so not having any egg production is going to be rough. But we do have the new gals and boys waiting in the wings, and that also is somewhat of an issue because we don't know if they may have been exposed. And you know, logic dictates if you have Merricks in your flock, everybody's got it, and if everybody's got it, well, you're at the mercy of what's going on here. Pardon me as I get a horsefly off here. Speaking of, some of the girls and boys. Hi, boys. What are you doing? So, yeah, there we go. Other than that, we went through our spring kidding. Had 3 kids born. Belle had her babies early. One was stillborn. The other one didn't make it either. Tried our best to nurse that one to health, but just wasn't meant to be. Ruby had her boy, and he was born on July 4th. His name is Indy. Kind of odd to name something that you're probably not going to keep, but we had to give him a name representative of 4th of July. He's ridiculously adorable. I've been working with him, trying to get him people friendly, which he loves climbing all over me. So he'll be working on finding him a new home here probably in the next couple weeks, and getting him ready to go. The orchard is doing fairly well. Haven't had nearly as many bugs here, but also all of our peaches have been otherwise decimated by either bugs or animals or birds or something or other. I don't have any peaches on the trees at this point in time, but I'm still in the establishing phase of the orchard, trying to get everything going there. We do have some apples and still have a couple of pears up on the trees that are maturing out. And let's actually go over the other things on there. Cherry trees are doing well. They got bit up a little bit by the Japanese beetles, but not nearly as bad this year as last year. They seem to be keeping up, so hopefully in a year or two I'll have plenty of cherries. Blueberries did very well this year for being young bushes. We only got a handful of blueberries, but still they're doing well. Say Hex. Hi, ducks. These guys are going to think I'm going to have some food for them. That's why they're heading in the direction of their run. The ducks get to free range out in the orchard daily now. They wander around. I think that might have helped for pest control a little bit too. As you can see, the orchard's doing fairly well. Do have a apple rust problem. We have a couple cedars along the tree line that are on the neighbor's property that are visibly afflicted by cedar apple rust, and you can see some of the trees have spots on the leaves. And if you actually take a good look at some of these spots, these are galls that are forming on the bottom of the leaves. On the apple side, they come up in the late summer, early fall when it gets wet. They let their spores out and infect the cedar trees and juniper trees around you. And then in the spring, the juniper trees do the exact same thing to infect the apple trees. And really just these first couple of years I'm not doing much with the orchard, just letting all the roots establish, and just trying to make sure the trees can grow. But the rust makes it difficult, that's for sure. Yeah, this tree is afflicted by a couple of different things, it looks like. But we'll probably start spraying next year, and we'll have plenty of peaches, and hopefully get some more apples, and hopefully the plums will do well too. But over here, this is this year's pride and joy right here. You can see this is our grape trellis. These are Muscat grapes. Muscat grapes are a European table grape, good for making raisins and of course Moscato wine. And they're doing pretty good. They started out pretty small, and they are actually climbing pretty good. And if you can see down here, right up in there, let's see if I can get in there. I don't know if you can see it all that well. Right here, you can see a bunch of grapes. Right down here. So they're fruiting already. Clean some of the grass clippings off here because our lawn care doesn't take into account these guys. As you can see, this guy's growing up pretty tall. It's already climbed. This is right under 5 feet. So where this is at. Gotta get this top cordon up so that grapes can start climbing across, and next year hopefully they'll be putting up runners along the cordons and we'll have grapes. And then over here, the other side of this year's project is another vining project. The rabbits got to this guy, but these two are pretty much the same. If you see this over here, this is a SI hardy kiwi. It's climbed this post, and do a little bit of bug pruning right here. And so these guys are another vining plant, and I got to get a trellis up for these guys to climb across. You can see where the vine no longer had room to go vertically. That's where it's putting up shoots right up here to sprawl out. And when they sprawl out, they sprawl across the trellis. That's when they blossom out and have fruit. So hopefully these guys will give a good bit of fruit next year too. As you can see, the orchard is doing okay. I have a few trees to replace. And one of our Granny Smiths died. The pomegranate, for some reason, started out pretty good this year, and then died back. It died on the freeze, and then it grew out some more, and then it died back again, possibly from drought before it started raining. Still growing though. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit and see what's going on. But yeah, as you can see, the peaches are kind of a little bit decimated at this point. And again, we're trying not to spray as much as possible. But next year we'll prune everything back and let it grow out for year 3 and maturity, and hopefully be able to get some fruit off everybody. And here is our pair of pears right up here. These guys are still growing good. And a fig tree actually has some figs on it too, or at least it did. I was worried about this guy. You can see right there, there's a fig right here. There's another one over here. And then our cherries and blueberries over here. These guys have put on a little bit of weight. And you can see the Japanese beetles have done a bit of a number on them, but there's the blueberries. So lots of little things going on. We've slowed way down this year, kind of trying to take a breath and get things done. So we have so many projects, but we're also just trying to stay afloat. I guess one of the big takeaways here is when you're trying to do something like this, it's kind of like a kid in a candy store. You start out with your eyes big and wide and you're like, yeah, let's do all of it. And you get into it and get overwhelmed real quick. One of the big things that's kind of a common thing in the homesteader side of things, and but you know, if you're trying to do this, it's just really a good idea to try to plan things out, number one, and put things in an order and prioritize what needs to be done versus what realistically can be done versus all of the extra fluff, and take things one at a time, basically, and try not to overwhelm yourself. This year, again, we've had a lot of issues with animal health for various reasons. We've had interesting weather this year. We've had a lot of rain, which has kept us from doing nearly as much work as we wanted leading up to here. We've had just work and family and health in general, trying to keep up with everything. It's been a challenge and a bit overwhelming. Last year was actually a pretty good blessing, and that COVID came along and we were at home. We didn't have to do commutes. We could take a lunch break and go work in the garden, things like that. Yeah, we're learning to slow down and smell the proverbial roses. I guess the other updates that you probably want to hear about is Herbie and Maya are full-time in the pasture. They're doing well. They're hiding right now from the afternoon sun. They're active in the evenings and first thing in the morning quite a bit. You can flip over right here. Putting in another fence line up here. This is going to be our main pasture split. So this side that I'm on right now is going to be Herbie and Maya's side. You can see the goats off in the distance on the other side of the pasture. That's their home. And then, yeah, we're still cleaning up from this early spring's ice storms. Still have trees to clean up. I have piles and piles of wood to go through. So yeah, things like that. That's held us up from doing things like some of the plans we've wanted with the barn and the shed back here. But I know I probably am making it all sound like doom and gloom, but it's not. It's just the list is very, very long, and there's always something to do. And we're finally sitting down and settling in to determine which pieces of that are the important pieces and which pieces are the ones that can be pushed back. That it changes our priorities. Try and understand. But first and foremost, our big change right now is focusing on the welfare of our herd, our flocks, trying to make sure everybody is healthy and happy and safe. We're trying to get our setup for our breeding programs to get underway, so that we can bring in a little bit more income to the farm, make it a little bit more self-sustainable, and just trying to keep our heads above water with the sanity of this all. But we're glad you guys are along for the ride as much as possible. I know better than to promise regular videos or anything like that, but I'm probably going to try and put together some sort of semi-regular schedule to get out a video just to update things. And you can always follow us on our Facebook page. Still have to work on the website because there's time for everything and nothing at all. So other than that, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for riding this ride with us, and we'll try to keep you updated. And if you found us, if you're new here, we appreciate you coming by. Thanks.